I'll be honest with you, when I came up with this idea I thought visiting old, nostalgic games that I loved, what a trip this is gonna be. And I'd start with a series near and dear to me, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I grew up with these games. My childhood consisted of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, the comics, and the cheesy Saturday morning cartoons. What can go wrong? Then I played Sonic 1 again, for the first time in 16 years. Well, needless to say, this script has been harder than I thought. This is my 5th revision now, and I'm actually unsure about how it's going to go. So let's break this down, and see how it goes then. Let's take a nostalgia trip with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I'll start the same way Sonic does, straight in Green Hill Zone. Now if I'm to be completely honest, this is so much better than I remember it being. All the game's mechanics work towards what people would say is Sonic's 3 core fundamentals: speed, platforming, and exploration, and Green Hill Zone does this amazingly, and really shows off Sonic's future potential. You have long stretches and slopes to build up speed, multiple pathways and hidden boxes to entice exploration, spike pits and falling platforms to invoke fine platforming. This is truly the Sonic experience. You can tell these zones had a lot of love put into them by how smoothly they flow and how easy they are to replay, re-experience, and even improve upon. I mean, I'm still improving my time now, finding little secrets and even a couple of hidden boxes. And Sonic Team know how good these zones were, and they still do. By its reappearance again. And again. I just wish I could say the same about the next set of zones. With Marble Zone, Sonic Team was thinking we need a break from the speed of Green Hill Zone and maybe a bit of focus on the platforming side of things. And they dropped the ball hard. You lose all goodwill with this game here thanks to slow moving blocks that need to be used to open up routes and travel on, and its annoying drop platforms that are needed to continue your journey. I can see where they took inspiration from Mario and his platforming ways, seeing as he was the king of gaming at the time, but I feel they lost the original ideal of Sonic with this zone. I honestly don't really enjoy my time here, and seeing as the zone times go from about 50 seconds to a minute per zone, to almost 3 minutes per zone, whilst I did do some speedy cuts, is just off-putting. I move on to Pastures New. Springyard Zone. Well, this is one area that my feelings haven't changed. I've not been a fan of this zone for as long as I've played the game. But biases aside, I do struggle to figure out why. I mean, we have diverging paths. Check. The level is more speed focused with slopes and stretches. Double check. And with the higher and lower paths, we have platforming challenges that require good reactions to maintain speed. Ding ding ding, we should have a winner. And yet this zone just doesn't resonate with me. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate it, but it just feels subpar to me. Maybe it's the John Cena can't see me roller bots that always make you lose your speed in the lower levels, or how the controls feel sticky in the half-pipe sections with the spiky balls. Either way, I can deal with this zone, unlike the train wreck that follows it. And now we hit the worst pace breaker in the game so far. Sonic's speed is completely countered by the game's water physics, and traversing these zones are a chore and more of a test of my patience than a test of my skill. The water slides are a great addition, especially to gain speed, but a lack of diverging paths to avoid water or to maintain speed is felt in every second that you play these zones. Did I mention spikes? Nope. Okay. Spikes in this game are broken. How broken, you ask? Well, here's an example. You can bounce off of spikes into spikes and have no frames of invincibility to protect against this. Boom, insta-death. So why do I mention this now? Well, because of the changes to Sonic's physics in the water, you can easily get hit, slowly fall back into some spikes, and die. This is both aggravating and annoying, and getting a game over from this is infuriating beyond belief. Here's a question. Is it possible to get PTSD from a video game? Because as a kid, I will say, the sound of the drowning timer scared the life out of me. I'd die to drowning as a kid so much here that hearing the sound clip would make me panic. That or it was because my stepdad decided to use it to wake me up in the morning. Either way, it still left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Starlight Zone. This for me is on par with Green Hill Zone. Speed focused, minimal but crucial platforming focus, and multiple pathways for the zone. I love it, and I can respect this even more now, going back and playing it again. The only reason I play past Labyrinth and its migraine inducing elements is actually just for this zone. And I'll be honest, this is where I wanted to stop. I wanted to finish here and leave Sonic 1 on a high note. But sadly we can't. Because after all, after this zone comes Scrap Brain Zone. This actually wasn't as bad as I remember. Yes, the rotating platforms are stupid and young me could not get a grip on them easily at all. But overall, zones 1 and 2 weren't too bad. We have diverging paths, we have nice platforming elements, with slight sacrifice to speed, so this is all good, yes? Only on the higher path. The lower paths are a chore with runways that just feel like they're designed to annoy you. What's worse is getting a game over here pushes you all the way back to the start of the game. No internal saves on the OG game here. Continues exist. So how do you get them then? Welcome to Sonic 1 Special Stages. Let me just state, I tend to ignore these and I don't really enjoy them. The concept is to get the Chaos Emerald in the maze, collect 50 rings along the way which grant you a continue. Sounds easy, but the stage is rotating! Well, you can reverse that by hitting these little switches which I tend to find bumpers nearby always bounce me back into, ruining any plans that I've got. But you make it to the centre, you grab one of your 6 Chaos Emeralds, 9 more chances to go. Why 9? Because Scrap Brain Zone is just too good to have special stage entrances. This just feels stupid and wrong, and I'll be completely honest, I'm glad that in future games they change the designs and the entrances to any special stages. And in this game, if I'm to be completely honest, you have no real need to gain the Chaos Emeralds. You gain a good ending with some pretty flowers. Big whoop! Spoiler alert. It felt underwhelming, and as a kid when I managed to do it, I felt completely let down. And I understand why. Sonic 1 at the later levels really struggles to hold my interest. I mean, there are some great zones, some okay zones, and then there's the bits that put you off the game completely. I honestly thought I had stronger, more positive feelings for Sonic 1. Obviously not. I, however, find myself in a love-hate relationship with this game, and I know there are people that fall firm on either side of that. I can see what Sonic 1 was honestly trying to do, but looking back, I already think it failed. Guess naming this series Nostalgia Trip has a strong reason now. Or so I thought. I then played the mobile port by Taxman and Stealth, with all its benefits. Save functionality, widescreen support, a smoothed out frame rate, additional characters, the spin dash, and a cavalcade of bug fixes. This has to be worth playing, and so I did. Adding Tails and Knuckles to the game is genius. Their traversal elements add a new way to play these levels, especially the more detestable ones, and the maps have been adjusted to allow for additional secrets with them. Speaking of these characters, there is now an incentive to get the Chaos Emeralds, which I said otherwise were pointless. You complete the game, you unlock Tails. You collect all the Chaos Emeralds, you unlock Knuckles. A really nice result for something that otherwise was rather pointless in the game. I talked about bug fixes. Well, the spike bug is no longer present actually, and if you play the game in no save mode, you have access to the original cheats if you still remember them like I do, which include level select and debug mode. This mobile port sets you back $1.99 to get its ads removed. The game otherwise is actually free. Now I want to sit here and say that this is the definitive way to play Sonic 1, and I really want to, except for the fact that there is a big bug with the game that is noted in its comments, and I have footage of it in the background. Sadly enough, this bug does add a big wrinkle right at the end of the game. Now the aforementioned cheat menus can get you past this, but they will not get you the permanent unlock of Tails or Knuckles. Once this is fixed, I cannot recommend this version enough as the definitive way to play Sonic the Hedgehog for anybody that is new or getting back into the game. Overall, I'm impressed. Thank you very much for tuning in everybody, and I hope to catch you all for the next video where I'll be looking at Sonic CD. Let's see how that one turns out as we take another nostalgia trip.